following podcast is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. So, kids shouldn't be listening. Elton says fuck and shit a lot, sometimes fucking shit, but rarely does he advocate actually fucking shit. You get it. Enjoy the show.
There's so much drama in the DNC. It was kind of hard being DONNA Brazile. Shit. You know, I thought I almost had a solid Snoop Dogg tie-in and reference there. Well, whatever. This is a part two of sorts, a companion piece, a flip of the coin, a yin to the yang, a Coke to the Pepsi, an equally dark side of a large dark turd, if you will. That last line there didn't make a whole lot of sense, but also it kind of makes perfect sense. This is about the hack of the DNC email and the lead up to the 2016 election. So yeah, it'll be about the Democrats. The motherfucking Democrats! For God's sakes, what a mess. Oh, stick around for the shit show.
This is out to read side book of the week. Podcast about books down to read. This is out to read side book of the week. Podcast about books down to read. Yeah, and that's all. Since I've done.
Under the watchful eyes of Bob Stratos and Apollo, this is Elton Reads a Book a Week, the podcast voted least likely to be invited to a Trump inauguration. My name is Elton, and I read a book a week. Welcome, and first and foremost, I would like to apologize for the weird repetition error, just like that one. The weird repetition error, I can say words, that I made in the last episode. It took me a while to put that one together, so I think I cut two different takes together, and I did it in a really shitty way. I don't know what happened. Forgive me. I'm a solo act on this, so things do get by me from time to time, especially in the bottoming out period of a cyclical depression-fueled procrastination that's been going on for my entire life. I know I fall back on that a lot, but I mean, it's true. Now I'll follow the bouncing ball. The book this time around is Hacks by Donna Brazile, a book based on the cultivation of over 350 years of combined human expert experience, experimentation, and most importantly, tasting. After years of waiting and wondering, the results are in from some of the finest secret Satan-worshipping organizations, groups, clans, and brotherhoods led by the evil Jewish adrenochrome curating cabals that have been running the world for millennia. And the results are finally collected in this book. Yes, you heard that right. For the first time publicly available. In a volume titled Hacks, the complete guide to collecting not only the blood of the unborn, but how to dismember and harvest organs from infants in order to live forever. That's right, folks. All the bizarre conspiracy theories about cannibalistic baby consumption to perpetuate life are available to you for the low price of this single book. Everything you need to know to live forever, just like the liberal elites. It's right here for the first time in all of the history of mankind. All you need is this book and roughly 20 to 30 unborn and or newly born infants of any race. So you don't have to be racist even. So that's cool, right? So yeah, as it would happen, all the weird right-wing conspiracy theories are actually true. Sorry to break it to you if you didn't think they were true, but yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. So hey, no need to be upset. Just pull up a seat, pour yourself a shot of newborn baby blood. Let that adrenochrome hit you in the back of the medulla oblongata or whatever it hits. And let's take a ride through a book that is absolutely not about any of that nonsense. Seriously? 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 I saw your face through the magic of imagination, and the implications of that expression you had on your face was nothing less than horrifying. Maybe a little self-reflection is in order, huh? Also a little vitamin C. You look a little washed out. I'm kidding. I have no idea what you look like when I said all that nonsense. I'm pretty sure everything is fine, and despite not seeing you physically, everything could use a little more vitamin C. I mean, go slam a glass of OJ. No, this book is about an insider's account of what happened when computer hackers stole emails from the Democratic National Committee in the lead-up to the 2016 election, and the perceived missteps of the Clinton campaign and Obama administration at the same fucking time, as told by none other than Donna Brazile. I believe that is how you say her name. Brazil or Brazil. I don't know. She was the interim DM She was the interim DNC chair at the time. This book's informative to say the least, but also definitely isn't up to the informational caliber that the book American Carnage was. This isn't to say it's less informative, just different in what information is given and how it has been written up. Where American Carnage was Tim Alberta running down sources and reporting with as little biases, as possible. Hacks is from Donna Brazile's perspective. So it's more like an autobiography of sorts, memoir kind of thing. Or that is to say, it's written in that style. While, of course, things are sourced from her firsthand experiences, obviously, she wrote the book, and they are as accurate as possible as far as she's concerned. It's from her perspective and written as such. So, being that as it may, who the fuck is Donna Brazile anyway, right? Twice in the past 5 presidential elections, the Democrats won the popular vote only to meet defeat in the Electoral College, which fucking sucks. In 2000, a mere 537 vote deficit in Florida. Yeah, you heard that right. 537 votes total. That, in terms of national presidential elections, is less than the width of one of your mom's pubic hairs. Oh, yeah. Didn't see that coming, did you? Better still, maybe one of your dad's. Oh, snap. This is why I'm not successful. Boom! Sad self-own. So 537 votes. So roughly the attendance of a TED Talk given by Bill Cosby on how to have a sexual relationship with anyone without them knowing. People would go. I mean, the guy sold pudding pops for decades. You don't think people would go just for the chance for an autograph? I mean, come on. Regardless, it came down to 537 votes and the motherfucking U.S. Supreme Court standing between Al Gore, the climate guy, and a George Bush, the lesser, White House. Spoilers, that went to shit for the climate guy. Did not win that one. Did not pull it out. A short 16 years later, Hillary Clinton garnered 2.86 million votes, winning the popular vote, only to see her ambition fucked by the Rust Belt. Spoilers! So that also went to shit. Both times, Donna Brazile was there. First at Gore's campaign manager, watching it go to shit. Then in 2016 as the interim chair of the Democratic National Committee, also watching everything go to shit. Brazile most certainly has a story to tell about some shit, folks. I mean, she's seen some things. Donna Brazile established herself as one of America's most influential political strategist by throwing the largest attendee of a political strategy convention off the top tier of the George R. Brown Convention Center in Houston as the crowd watched in horror as the body of one of their fellow political strategists she threw them over the railing and their body smacked in the ground. And as the body twitched and breathing in their last, Donna, God, she stared down at the crowd with a steely-eyed grimace before declaring, "I am Donna Brazile, the most influential political strategist ever. Hear me now, simpletons, that you might live in fear of me later." strategy-wise. I'm here for your souls, but also to provide political strategic help for those trying to deliver on the promise of affordable universal health care for the country. Short of that, to pile up your useless bodies by the wayside on my path to domination, so help me God, or political strategically speaking, me. No, obviously not. She didn't say any of that. She did, however, become the first African-American woman to manage a major presidential campaign, and twice served as acting chair of the Democratic National Committee. So kind of the same thing, right? As what I said earlier, top tier and all. With a career spanning over 4 decades, Brazile has shaped American politics through her work on numerous presidential campaigns, with her media commentary, academic contributions, and advocacy for voting rights and civic engagement. Yeah! Domination. It all started for Donna, as it does for every human being on Earth, with birth. Born on December 15th, 1959 in New Orleans, or New Orleans. I don't know how they say it in Louisiana, but that's, She was born to Lionel and Jean Brazile. Donna came out strategizing by strategically strategizing, but politically. I'm so stupid. She was the third of 9 children in her family, whose surname was Brazile, several generations prior. Brazile's interest in politics sparked at the young age of 9 when a local candidate promised to build a neighborhood playground, and demonstrating early on how political engagement could lead to tangible community improvements. Wow. Is it weird that I can't remember what the fuck I was doing at 9 years old? Let alone listening to what local political candidates were promising. What the fuck was I doing? What the hell was I doing at 9? What? During her high school years, Brazile participated in a TRIO Upward Bound program, which helps prepare students for college education. Her early political activism began as a teenager when she volunteered for the Jimmy Carter, Walter Mondale presidential campaigns in 1976, and later worked on their 1980 campaign while studying at Louisiana State University. I don't know. Anyway, in 1981, she graduated from LSU with a bachelor's degree in industrial psychology. Quick! I saw you. Stop. Freeze. Red light, green light. Red light. What is industrial psychology? Don't know? Me either. Okay, yeah, I saw your eyes light up. So maybe you know? You know, I think. But the rest of us know. It's a field that applies psychological principles and research methods to understand and improve human behavior in the workplace, aiming to enhance organizational effectiveness and employee well-being. So with that internet-provided definition, methinks it's behind or is to blame for all the dumb corporate culture you've ever experienced in your entire life. If you've had the unfortunate opportunity of working under the heel of any corporate monster currently ruling the world, yeah, Casual Fridays. What a weird bit of mind fuckery that is, to fool people into thinking that wearing their own clothes is somehow a treat. Pay $1. You can wear your own jeans even. Following her undergraduate education, Brazile became a fellow at the Institute of Politics at Harvard University's John F. Kennedy School of Government. Man, everything is named after that guy now, right? Further developing her political acumen. Or, as they say in political circles, sharpening ye old axe for the noggin lopping political strategy-wise. No, they don't say that at all. Full transparency, I drank a lot of coffee earlier, so you get it. After graduating, Brazile worked for several advocacy groups in Washington, D.C., where she played an instrumental role in the successful campaign to establish Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday as a federal holiday. Great holiday. This early accomplishment foreshadowed her future impact on American politics and civil rights. Then came the real work. After all that stupid growing up, young adulthood shit to become a slightly older young adulthood into slightly older young adulthood. Something like that. She worked on numerous presidential campaigns for Democratic candidates, establishing herself as a respected political strategist. Her early campaign experience included working for Jesse Jackson in 1984, supporting the Walter Mondale Geraldine Ferrero ticket that same year, too, and serving as a strategist for Dick Gephardt in the 1988 Democratic primary. After Gephardt lost the primary in 1988, Brazile became the deputy field director for Michael Dukakis's general election campaign. Jesus. I mean, Jackson, Mondale, and Dukakis? I'm sensing a loser pattern here. Is she the reason? Bad omen? Or whatever? What the fuck is that called? A curse? Bad mojo? Is she the root of all the Democratic Party's problems? Burn the witch! Burn the witch! Or, maybe Democrats run shit campaigns and lose fucking always. It's likely that. More on that later, folks. However, her time with the Dukakis campaign ended controversially when she made remarks about George H.W. Bush's rumored extramarital affair, leading to her dismissal from the campaign. So maybe she's not the bad mojo. In the 1990s, Brazile served as chief of staff and press secretary to congressional delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton of the District of Columbia, where she helped guide the district's budget and local legislation on Capitol Hill. She also worked as an advisor for Bill Clinton's presidential campaign in 1992 and his re-election in 1996. Boom! 2 wins for Brazile. Yes! Spike that body off that top tier. Brazile's most significant career breakthrough came in 1999 when she was appointed deputy campaign manager and later promoted to campaign manager for Vice President Al Gore's 2000 presidential campaign. This appointment made her the first African-American woman to direct a major party presidential campaign. There it is, breaking important barriers in American politics. Way to go, Donna! Also, who is going to tell her, right? 537 fucking votes. 530 fucking 7! Damn it! Following the contested 2000 presidential election and the controversy over Florida votes, Brazile was appointed chair of the Democratic National Committee's Voting Rights Institute, beginning her former relationship with the DNC leadership. Brazile served twice as the acting chair, as I said before, of the Democratic National Committee. First, from April 5th to May 4th, 2011, during the transition between Tim Kaine and Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And again, from July 28th, 2016 to February 25th, 2017, after Wasserman Schultz's resignation. Her leadership during these transitions demonstrated her ability to navigate challenging political circumstances and maintain organizational stability. That's code for she was handed a shit sandwich and she ate it like it was a gourmet shit sandwich. During the 2008 presidential primaries, Brazile served as a super delegate. For those playing at home, an unelected delegate who was free to support any candidate for the presidential nomination at the party's national convention is what that is. But she consistently refrained from declaring her preferred Democratic presidential candidate, maintaining a neutral stance despite the contentious nature of the Clinton-Obama primary race. Donna Brazile has also established herself as a prominent political commentator across various media platforms. She spent 15 years at CNN as a contributor before resigning in October 2016 following a controversy when WikiLeaks revealed she had shared debate questions with Hillary Clinton's campaign during the 2016 primary season. That bitch. Or something. I don't know. In 2019, what questions would have been primary debates, they ask the same questions all the time, so I don't get that. Anyway, in 2019, Brazile joined Fox News as a contributor, a move she described as rooted in the belief that you cannot make progress, let alone reach compromise, without first listening to and understanding those who disagree with you on critical issues. See, now okay, I can only half agree with that. I understand the healthy debate, getting outside your comfort zone thing. It helps to develop ideas, concepts, and all that entails. Kind of like refining a diamond from a rough stone, that sandpaper to maybe, something you would put into jewelry or something. I get it. But politically, it only works if both sides agree to some modicum of intellectual honesty. Just dodging someone's well-made point and pretending it isn't true is bullshit. The second thing is that both sides need to agree on an objective reality. When one side starts to fling large chunks of blatantly obvious bullshit, hearing them out and finding common ground is a fucking fool's errand. Fox News is that all fucking day long. Imagine arguing against just fucking a barrage of bullshit. It's not worth it. Anyway, back to Brazile. She remained with Fox News until May of 2021. Currently, Brazile serves as an ABC News contributor. My goodness. Continuing to provide political analysis and commentary. Brazile's media presence extends beyond news networks, too. She has also made cultural appearances, including in the Netflix series House of Cards, a show I still have yet to finish. Damn it. Her work in media has been recognized with Emmy and Peabody Awards, establishing her as not just a political operative, but a significant voice in American political discourse. Beyond her political and media work, okay? Brazile has made substantial contributions to academia. Academia nuts. Academia, something. She currently serves as the adjunct professor in the Women and Gender Studies Department at Georgetown University. She has previously held prestigious academic positions. She has previously held prestigious academic positions. I'm going to do the whole podcast like this, including including the king. I can't do it. I'll try it. Including the king endowed chair including the king endowed chair in public policy at Howard University. Imagine a podcaster that just came at it like this. And as a fellow at the Institute of Politics at Harvard Kennedy School. Brazile's commitment to education is further demonstrated. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Is further demonstrated by her extensive lecturing experience, having spoken at nearly 250 universities and colleges on topics including diversity, equity, and inclusion. Oh boy, if only she knew how much trouble she'd be in right now. DEI? Oh no! Not treating everyone equally and with fucking respect and looking at their qualifications and... Anyway. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, women in leadership, and restoring civility in American politics. Oh boy. Anyway, you get it, if you get it. If you don't, whatever. Her academic contributions have been recognized with more than 10 honorary doctorate degrees from major colleges and universities, including her alma mater, Louisiana State University. I don't know if I'm even doing that right. Always in the realm of reading, I run into someone who makes me feel kind of like I've done nothing with my life. And that as far as, being a human being, I've come up short. I dealt myself a shorthand, if not been dealt up a stack of shit cards, Is it motivational for me to read about someone who's accomplished fucking so much? No, because I am inherently deprecating on almost all fronts. But goddamn if it isn't frustrating for me. Way to go, Donna. You're still sucking ass though, Elton. So it goes. Here we go. kicking my own ass even more, Brazile has authored several important books that document her experience in American politics as well. Her 2004 memoir, Cooking with Grease, Stirring the Pots in American Politics, became a bestseller. Following the 2016 election, she published this book, Hacks, the inside story of the break-ins and breakdowns that put Donald Trump in the White House. The book, the one we're talking about today, is that one, which provided her insider perspective on that contentious election cycle. She co-authored For Colored Girls Who Have Considered Politics, which that's a neat title, which won the 2019 NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Literary Work in Nonfiction. It sounds interesting as hell, and I should get it while I'm still being outpaced by Donna Brazile, which means I have the rest of my stupid underperforming life to do it. That's going in my things to tell my therapist once I can actually afford one notebook that I'm too lazy to keep. Additionally, Brazile contributed to the anthology 400 Souls, a community history of African America from 1619 to 2019, further establishing her voice in discussions of race and politics in America. Because of course she fucking did. She's fucking killing it, Elton. Here you are, wearing Santa Claus pajama pants from 8 years ago, coupled with a Doctor Who hoodie featuring Jodie Whittaker as the 13th Doctor, whose merchandise and collectibles I feel will be hotly sought after in the coming years. But that's beside the point. I'll move on before I start to spiral. Today, Brazile continues her multifaceted rampage across several domains that I'm not ever going to be involved in and succeed in. And she's been throwing so many people off so many upper tiers, political strategy-wise, of course. She serves as an ABC News contributor, like I said before, and remains active in the Democratic Party politics. As a member of the DNC Rules and Bylaws Committee, she works as a senior advisor at Purple Strategies, a bipartisan public affairs firm. That was a lot of P and stuff. Brazile is in high demand as a keynote speaker, addressing topics related to democracy, political leadership, civic engagement. The Washington Speakers Bureau lists her speaking fee as just a little bit under $25,000 for her to speak. That highlights her continued relevance in political discourse. $25,000, people, to have someone come speak to you and a bunch of drunk, probably drunk. I'm gonna say drunk. A bunch of drunk friends or colleagues or people. That blows my fucking mind. If I'm paying someone $25,000 to talk, it'll be about the cocaine they just delivered. Her continued influence has been recognized by publications such as The Washingtonian magazine, which named her one of the 100 most powerful women. This recognition reflects her enduring impact on American politics and public discourse. Fuck! What am I doing? Brazile's career represents several important breakthroughs in American politics. First African-American woman to manage a presidential campaign, she broke significant barriers in political leadership, served twice in the DNC chair. Blazing trails, this lady is. Her advocacy for voting rights through her leadership of the DNC Voting Rights Institute. Oh, Jesus, just more shit. She's contributed to ongoing efforts to protect and expand democratic participation. Throughout her career, she's maintained commitment to, again, DEI stuff. I mean, come on. While not without controversy, including her departure from CNN after that WikiLeaks revelation and her subsequent criticisms of the Democratic Party and the favoritism in 2016 of the DNC for Hillary Clinton instead of Bernie Sanders. fucking Jesus. Her career is replete with groundbreaking shit. She's an author. She's a manager. She's a strategist. She's a fucking party leader. She's a fucking author. Educator, I'm pretty sure I just said. And she comes from New Orleans. That's a thing, right? That's something I didn't do that either. And she continues her work in all of this stuff. She's still influential. What am I doing?
Elton, you know what I have a need for, a craving for, what I have a hell, almost an addiction for? Let me tell you, sweet, sweet ads, you hear me? You know how I get my fix for dem shits, E-Dog? With a fucking ad break. Give me that ad break, sugar. Give it to me.
Now that we've established that Donna Brazile is smarter and will always be more accomplished than anything I will ever do, I think it's probably a good idea to establish the political party she represents and has worked with for fucking ever and writes books about. And that is also in the book Hacks, because she was, head of the Democratic National Committee that were hacked with the hacking and the hacks and the hacky hack. I probably pissed off every hacker in the world just now. I apologize. Please leave my email unscathed. I don't know what I would do without the many fans that email me at eltonreadsabookaweek@gmail.com to talk about my poorly inserted plugging of my email address. eltonreadsabookaweek@gmail.com. That poorly inserted plug. eltonreadsabookaweek@gmail.com. Okay, so let's talk about the political party she was the head of twice. Well, not party, just the DNC. And probably helped to make it worse than it already was and is. Sorry, Donna, but it's fucking true. Here's to losing the other half of my audience doing this shit, by the way. Cheers, guys. Happy trails. The Democratic Party has undergone remarkable transformations throughout its nearly 2-century existence, evolving from a party championing states' rights, racism, and limited government and racism to its modern incarnation as a diverse coalition advocating progressive policies with a little bit of different racism. This history is marked by significant ideological shifts, very controversial positions, and a continuous struggle to define its identity in America's changing political landscape. While also failing a whole fucking lot, like all the time, all the goddamn time. Sorry, I drank a lot of coffee. I'm trying to slow that down with some Southern comfort. Okay. Shouldn't be at the same time, but you know what? I mean, come on. Look what I'm into here. I'm a little bit excitable, irritated, and fuzzy. You know what I mean? Don't look at me like that. I'm not intoxicated. You're intoxicated. Eat it. The Democratic Party is the oldest existing political party in America. Take that, Republicans, with your younger political party. Technically. And the Democratic Party arguably has the oldest active voter base in voter-based political party in the world. It has arguably the oldest active voter-based political party in the world. There it is. My God, Elton. And is currently in contention for oldest and most harmfully out of touch political party in the United States too. Although it lacks a precise founding date, its origins can be traced back to the 1700s with Thomas Jefferson's Democratic Republican Party, which organized opposition to the Federalist Party. This early group emerged from anti-federalists who advocated for stronger states' rights and less centralized government. If that sounds more like Republicans nowadays, spoiler alert, it's because this iteration of the party was the precursor to the Republican Party today, and would soon swap over to become the Republicans as we know them today. I feel like I should say Republicans one more time just to even it out. That's, 4. 4 times.
Oh yeah, 4, y'all. 4. Loud and proud. 4. Give me 1, 2, 3. 4. 5 minus 1 is a gangbang. What the hell?
Most historians agree that the modern Democratic Party began with Andrew Jackson, an American Indian-hating racist's successful 1828 presidential campaign after losing the 1824 election to John Quincy Adams, despite winning the popular vote. A trend that would haunt the party off and on for a very long time. Jackson and Senator Martin Van Buren formed the Democratic Party as a vehicle to represent what they saw as the will of the people. If an official founding date has to be established or can be established, many point to the 1832. Many point to 1832 when Democrats held their first nominating convention. Am I having a stroke? It seems like I am. I don't know. It's what the fuck am I doing? The early Democratic Party positioned itself against central government power with key platforms including the abolition of the Bank of the United States and an emphasis on states' rights. So what the fuck was the central bank, you might have asked? Or didn't. I'm sure you didn't. You definitely didn't. But since we're here, it was Alexander Hamilton. Alexander, by the way, Hamilton, who was known as the greatest rapper of the Revolutionary War. It was his great experiment in central banking, which began in 1791 to assist a post-Revolutionary War economy, but it ended 20 years later. His first Bank of the United States. No, but you're thinking, what? That's only 20 years. Yeah, it's not the one that pissed off old Andy Jack. And, that's not the one Andy Jack wanted to slap back to some other place. Down, maybe? Down? Wanted to slap down. But also something that rhymes with back. Wanted to slap down, backtrack the... Back. I'm a terrible rapper. Sorry, Hamilton. I tried. Anyway, the second Bank of the United States was established because around 1815, the United States found itself heavily in debt because of all the War of 1812 and the warring and Britain using its navy to blockade U.S. trade with other nations. The war prevented U.S. farmers and manufacturers from exporting merchandise, and it also blocked U.S. merchants and fishermen from sailing the high seas, and curtailed federal government revenues, which were derived mainly from tariffs back in the day. Tariffs. Derived mainly from tariffs on trade during the 1812 thing. The war thing. So in debt, the U.S. was much like it had been at the end of the Revolutionary War 30 years earlier. In January of 1815, the United States had been without a national bank for almost 4 years. Many people thought that a successor would again provide relief for the country's ailing economy and help in paying its war debt. In January 1814, Congress received a petition signed by 150 businessmen from New York City urging the legislative body to create a second national bank. In February and again in November, Calhoun put forth plans to create a bank that would be headquartered in the District of Columbia. But that was Senator Calhoun, I think. Anyway, his bills did not pass. Oh, no. So what is a boy to do when his bill doesn't pass? You wait until the federal government's financial position deteriorates amid a broader economic downturn that follows. Duh. So eventually it passed and the bank became a thing and would act as a physical agent for the federal government, holding its deposits, making its payments, and helping it issue debt to the public. And it would issue and redeem bank notes and keep state bank issuance of notes in check. Also, like its predecessor, the bank had a 20-year charter and operated as a commercial bank that accepted deposits and made loans to the public, both businesses and individuals. It was humming along until Andrew Jackson vetoed a bill that would have renewed the bank's charter. Why would he veto this thing that everyone was humming along? A rumor. And Andrew Jackson had a fear of paper money. The rumor was that the bank was being manipulated to help Andy Jack's political opponent, and the fear was due to a land deal that had gone sour more than 2 decades before. In that deal, Jackson had accepted paper notes, essentially paper money, as payment for some land he had sold. When the buyers who had issued the notes went bankrupt, the paper he held became fucking worthless. Of course, although Jackson managed to save himself from financial ruin, he never trusted paper notes again. Stupid paper, I don't like you. It's fascinating, the weird shit that affects change in the world and, history. And here we are in the aftermath. I apologize for the tangent. Back to the Democrats. Under Jackson's leadership, the party championed the interests of the common man and encouraged both populist movements and westward expansion. Common man being white man. Westward expansion meant fuck Indians, who apparently weren't considered men. The Democrats dominated American politics from their founding through the beginning of the Civil War, holding the White House for 24 of the 32 years between 1828 and 1860. The party also controlled the Senate for 26 years and the House for 24 years during that same period. Rock and fucking roll, but not really. They were the right wing at that time. As tensions over slavery intensified, the Democratic Party became sharply divided between northern and southern factions. Northern Democrats generally believe territories should vote on whether to allow slavery. Popular sovereignty. My God. While Southern Democrats advocated for slavery, regardless of local preferences. So according to the Democrats at the time, the choice for the country was slavery or slavery light. As a reminder, the Democrats at the time were the right-wing party, again. So you know. The party's relationship with slavery and civil rights has been its most controversial historical legacy, as you know, of course. According to some sources, the Democratic Party defended slavery, opposed Reconstruction efforts that followed during the Civil War, and later supported segregationist policies because racists will always racist. After the Civil War, the Democratic Party became the political party became the political home for most white Southerners, as many associated the Republican Party with the Union Army and Reconstruction. See, back then the Republican Party was the left wing. Weird, right? It's like a weird upside-down world. One was for the horrific enslavement of human beings, and the other one was for paying slightly more than lip service to the equality of those that were enslaved. Who will win, and what will be left of them? Maybe someday we'll find out, depending on who cuts the bigger check. Am I right? Yeah. Am I bitter and jaded? Oh, yeah. Both probably, and most definitely. Also, a mix or something like that. During this period, the party took positions supportive of Jim Crow laws and opposed full rights for African Americans, remaining the dominant political force in the South for decades. Meanwhile, the Republican Party became nationally dominant in the post-Civil War era, Republicans again being the lefty winger wings at the time, wingers. The Democratic Party began a significant transformation in the late 19th century. In 1896, the party nominated William Jennings Bryan for president. If you're not familiar with who that is, don't worry, he lost, so relax. You didn't miss the president on the list of presidents you already forgot. Willie Bri, who advocated economically left-wing positions against big government while supporting unions, farmers, and expanding the role of government in protecting working-class people. He had no chance. This period marked the beginning of the party's evolution towards more progressive economic policies, though its stance on racial issues remained problematic well into the 20th century, as you can imagine. The mid-20th century brought dramatic changes to the Democratic Party, particularly regarding civil rights. Some historians note that Democratic senators filibustered the Civil Rights Act for 75 days until Republicans helped break the logjam. Democrats, righties, Republicans, lefties, both letting down America. However, it was Democratic President Lyndon Johnson, who ultimately signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 into law, albeit reluctantly. Boom! Didn't see that coming, did you? Yep. Before becoming president, Johnson, as a senator, had a record of supporting segregationist policies and opposing civil rights legislation. Before becoming president, Johnson, as a senator from Texas, was a member of the Southern Bloc that often opposed civil rights legislation, yet negotiated and managed to push the Civil Rights Act through Congress, divided between racist and slightly less racist white guys. Why would he do that? Because it's what a freshly debrained JFK would have wanted. It's kind of sweet if you think about it. A racist Southern guy did the right thing by the American people, and all it took was a man shooting another man in the head. Huh? America. Regardless of the motivation, macabre or otherwise, Johnson's support for civil rights legislation contributed to a major political realignment as African Americans increasingly supported Democrats. Many white Southern voters shifted their allegiance to the Republican Party because racism. This transformation fundamentally altered the demographic composition and regional strength of both major parties over the past 20 years. While the overall percentage of Americans identifying as Democrats has remained relatively stable, the party's demographic profile has undergone a remarkable transformation. Today's Democratic Party is more racially and ethnically diverse, and includes a larger share of college-educated adults and has more people who self-identify as liberal. It also includes far fewer religious people than in previous eras. This is also a problem, but only if the dumbass Democrats aren't nimble with their messaging, platform, policy, and general governing overall, which they're goddamn not. I mean, it's stupidly sad, like in the way you would feel if you saw someone constantly hitting themselves in the face with the handle of a rake they just kept stepping on in the grass, you know, like a fucking cartoon. They do it once and you say, oh, fuck, man, are you okay? That's wild. I never thought that would actually ever happen in real life. Shit, your nose is bleeding, man. Let me get you a rag or take you to the doctor even or something. And then maybe you go get fixed up. Maybe they do go get fixed up, but when they're walking in the house, they clump that fucking rake again. Same yard, same rake, same face. And then, back to the fucking hospital. You as a friend, you try to help. You move the rake. Bam! They go and step on it again. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to put this fucking rake in the shed. And then for whatever reason, you bring them back from the hospital again, more bandages on their face, and when they're walking down through the yard to get to the front door, they actually go out of their way, go to the shed, they pull it out, they lay it down, and then step on it, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing, man? The rake, it was in the goddamn shed. It wasn't even in the fucking yard, and you stepped on it. All the while, they're crying and they're slobbering like a 5-year-old, and they start that sob talking. I don't know why. I don't know why. It hurts so bad. Yeah, it's like that very tortured metaphor, but in a frustratingly accurate way, like eerily so. Sorry, what was I? Right. As of 2025, the Democratic Party faces significant internal challenges and debates over its direction. Recent events have exposed divisions within the party over how to effectively oppose Republican policies and the Trump administration. In March 2025, Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, a man who would have been a great Democratic senator 70 fucking years ago, but is what is kindly described as an anchor on the neck of the party now, faced criticism from within his party after supporting a Republican-led government funding bill. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, another person that's way overdue for leaving, and current House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries expressed disagreement with Schumer's approach, highlighting tensions within party leadership. Critics from within the party have charged the Democratic leaders with being too timid in opposing the way they view what they view as existential threats from the right. Some progressives have criticized the party for failing to take bold action on issues like abortion rights after Roe versus Wade was overturned, preferring instead to fundraise off these setbacks. Give us money, then we'll put forth legislation to codify it instead of, whenever they're in power, actually fucking codifying it. Same yard, same rake, same base. Another contentious issue has been the party's position on Israel, with critics arguing the Democratic leadership, aging as it is, has supported policies that are at odds with the preferences of their potential voters, particularly younger voters. Meaning adherence to old norms, which were burned alive over the past decade or so, are now fucking the Democrats over. You kind of wish that the whole party would be embodied in a donkey so you could punch it, whip it, just beat its ass.
What? Elton, what are you saying right now, you frothy-mouthed weirdo?
I apologize. I really don't know
what you have against donkeys,
I don't know what came over me.
Were you kicked by one or something? Actually, that would go a long way to explaining a whole hell of a lot.
That's probably a rabbit hole nobody wants to go down.
Oh, come on now. Rabbits too, kid. What's your deal with animals? They can't all be kicking you. Biting, maybe. I could probably guess that.
I have no deal with animals. It just got away from me. That's all.
Well, from here on out, try to limit your outbursts to non-PETA-generating, hate mail, fueling subjects, you super weird. You're just weird.
Well, yeah, that's a given, but here's some helpful advice, kid. Lay off the animal beating talk, huh? You really don't want to ditty your body of work,
Whoa, hey,
wow.
What are you even talking about, Shep?
No,
don't,
Shep,
just
sir,
no,
sir.
Don't
That's
start with that.
It's not a verb or anything like, I don't know why you would still try to, just don't. It's not even a thing, sir.
Well, damn it. I really thought I nailed it that time for sure. I'll keep working on it.
No, but please stop working on it.
Okay, I'm moving on now. The Democratic Party's donkey mascot originated during Andrew Jackson's 1828 presidential campaign when his opponents called him a jackass. A mascot and or animal that I do not want to whip and beat. Just to be clear. So rather than take offense, Jackson was amused by the label and incorporated the animal into his campaign posters. Smart move, man. The donkey became firmly established as the party's symbol in the 1870s thanks to influential political cartoonist Thomas Nast, the guy we mentioned in the American Carnage episode. He helped to popularize the elephant and the donkey in his widely circulated drollery rings, comics, political cartoons. You know what I'm talking about. And since the party first ran a presidential candidate, Mr. Andrew Jackson, in 1828, Democrats have won 19 of 42 presidential elections up to the late 1990s. The party has continued to be competitive in presidential politics into the 21st century, though facing challenges in maintaining congressional majorities, because as Americans have learned as of late, you can't do much of a shit unless you have your party control, at the very least, Congress and the presidency. But also, we've learned that even when that happens, it doesn't necessarily mean that anything you want to get done will get done. Isn't that right? You fucking Democrats with your donkey asses that need to be whipped and beat. And
again with the donkeys?
What in the ditty are you doing, kid?
Oh, no. Don't you start with that
man,
again?
That's not even close to appropriate. What are you talking about?
I'll just figure out how to do this ditty thing myself.
I don't even know what kind of response that warrants. Fear? Maybe.
Oh, God, I'm moving on again. Jesus. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of the Democratic Party is its ability to evolve, or not evolve, throughout its history, and still get absolutely fuck all done. That's right. Okay, that's slightly unfair, depending on how you look at it, okay? On one hand, they're more like feckless corporate cucks, beholden to donors that pay little more than lip service to their base to keep the votes rolling in, you know? But they do, they do update their platform occasionally. So, evolving. On the other hand, they're constantly manipulated and outmaneuvered by an opposition that constantly negates and ignores the imagined quote-unquote norms Democrats have shackled themselves to out of seemingly brain-dead naivete. So, not evolving. Still, once known as the party of the common man, the early Democratic Party stood for individual rights and state sovereignty and opposed banks and high tariffs. Thank God no one political party is doing that today, right? Like playing around with high tariffs. Right? A thing of the past. Today's Democratic Party advocates for dramatically different policies. Goodness, like individual rights, opposing banks, and mixed reviews on states' rights. Still, it highlights how political parties can transform while maintaining institutional continuity. Too long, didn't read, ineffective, hand-wringing, flip-flop, unpopular despite representing a popular platform. Got it? The Democratic Party's nearly 2-century history reflects the complex evolution of American politics from pivoting from one set of views to a slightly different set of those same views. From its origins championing Jacksonian democracy and states' rights, back when they were Republicans, to its current iteration as a coalition of diverse constituencies advocating for progressive policies wrapped in a conservative blanket. The party has undergone numerous transformations to land only slightly left of where they started. How milquetoast, am I right? Can we get a sugar-free vanilla milkshake over here, please? Whoa. This has a little bit too much flavor, miss. Can you strip that out somehow? Just filter it out. Throughout its history, the party has both led and responded to major changes in American society, as well as ignoring a fuck ton of them. From debates over slavery and civil rights to economic policy and social issues, Democrats have often found themselves on the right side of history regarding those. But it's not been without a struggle to get them there. Its controversies and achievements alike have shaped American political development in profound ways. As of 2025, the Democratic Party continues to grapple with internal divisions. As always. And external challenges. The Republicans. As it attempts to forge a coherent identity and strategy in a polarized political landscape, as always. Hey, I said that 3 times.
Oh, that's 3! Yeah, motherfucker! That's 3! Yeah, motherfucker! It's a bad motherfucker! That's the rumor! 3's the shit! Except for tubers! That's 3! Why did you say that? That's 3!
So now that we're familiar with the amazing... I don't know what I'm doing. So now that we're familiar with the amazing life of Donna Brazile and all about how she's better than me and more successful than me and better looking, were we tossed into a who's better looking contest, which one finds themselves in from time to time, and I've been entered into weight, and it's just a sad chapter of my And the history of those damn Democrat demon rats or whatever folks are awkwardly calling them these days. Seriously, what a terrible pejorative nickname or whatever in the fuck. Such a terrible nickname that is. Demon rats. It's fucking awful. It's not awful meaning, oh, it's just stupid. It's just poorly I don't know, unfunny. Donna Brazile's memoir Hacks. Speaking of hacks, Donna Brazile's memoir Hacks, the inside story of the break-ins and breakouts that put Donald Trump in the White House, which is the full title, and another contender for the longest title of the year, enters the fray. Two will enter. One will leave. No one will care. Which survives the brutal onslaught? Which is... Okay, I can't go on with that. The title's long is what I'm saying. Who is titling these fucking books? So, the excessively and exhaustively long titled book offers readers a remarkable glimpse into the tumultuous 2016 presidential election from the perspective of the Democratic National Committee's interim chair, published by Hachette. 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 I'm going with Hachette. Hachette. I'm going with Hachette because it sounds like machete. Hachette Books. This political memoir ignited controversy upon its release, sparking debates, meaning judgmental finger-pointing, about internal Democratic Party operations, meaning hurriedly and awkwardly finding someone to blame for a badly run organization. It also talks about Russian election interference, meaning finding the real culprit, and the primary contest between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, meaning exposing the internal fuckery at work in the Democratic organization. Brazile, a seasoned political operative, as I've explained before in her biography, or a strategist, is what she is, throwing people off the fucking top tier. She presents a multifaceted narrative that combines elements of political thriller, personal memoir, and cautionary tale about American democracy under siege. Also, I said meaning 4 times.
Oh yeah, 4, y'all. 4. Loud and proud. 4. Give me 1, 2, 3. 4. 5 minus 1 is... A gang bang. What the hell?
Donna Brazile stepped into her role as interim DNC chair at a moment of crisis for the Democratic Party. Following the resignation of previous chair Debbie Wasserman Schultz amid controversy, the controversy being a fuck ton of inter-organizational email being leaked to the public by fucking hackers, which of course freaked out the donors and anyone who ever had contact with the DNC. And then she and the DNC proceeded to do nothing about it for way too long. And then Brazile inherited an organization plagued by financial difficulties as well, to the tune of millions of dollars in debt. Internal divisions, Bernie versus Hillary, that cut a lot of noses to spite a lot of faces. And the aftermath of a sophisticated cyber intrusion crafted by resourceful Ruskies. Is that racist? Ruskies? I don't know. It's just a fun sounding Ruski. I don't know. It sounds like you want it to be like you might level it as an insult, but Russians would just be like, Ruski, who cares? Say it again. We laugh. Everyone laugh. Anyway, the timing of her ascension to this position in the midst of a contentious general election campaign provided Brazile with a unique vantage point from which to observe and document the unprecedented challenges facing American democracy way back in 2016. God damn. What a great time back then. No COVID, no. We were all just babies. 9 years ago. Golly. Sorry, no. I meant to say complete crash and burn because of incompetence, vanity, and willful ignorance. Okay. The political environment Brazil describes reflects a frightening glimpse into the fractured American hellscape that would only get worse, where both major political parties experience significant internal conflicts, and the prize is that we all get to win when that happens is well, hell. Just hell. Brazil articulates how the Democrats struggled with tensions between establishment figures, Hillary, and insurgent progressive elements, Bernie, which, while simultaneously working to counter the unconventional campaign of Donald fucking Trump. God damn. It's like juggling chainsaws while getting slapped in the face with cream pies made of shit. In her characteristic forthright style, Brazil does not shy away from assigning blame, famously asserting that 3 Titanic egos, Barack, Hillary, and Debbie, stripped the party to a shell of its for their own purposes. A statement that encapsulates her unflinching approach to analyzing party dysfunction and turning the finger on others. The book's publication in November 2017, approximately 1 year after Trump's electoral victory, which is famously known in political circles as, quote, the year after another Democrat loss when they do a post-election autopsy and eventually blame their own base rather than do a self-reflection on how they didn't listen to the voters during the election cycle or even before, and they assumed that those voters would then vote for them regardless of not giving them any reason to, but, didn't vote for them because they never do what their base wants them to do. The Democrats never do what the base really wants them to do. Unquote. But like I was saying, the timing of the book's publication positioned it within ongoing national conversations about election security, hackers, and party reform, which the Republicans did not do, and the future Democrats. Really, they kind of run on the same shit all the fuck. Anyway. Ongoing national conversations about election security, party reform, and the future of American democracy, as well as fueling that post-election loser fire. Brazil's decision to reveal internal party dynamics and controversies generated significant media attention, with excerpts appearing in prominent publications ahead of the book's release. These preliminary revelations, particularly regarding Clinton's relationship with the DNC, set the stage for a politically charged reception. Of course, we got to talk about the Russian hacking saga. Of course, the book includes the nefarious theft of the DNC emails and their subsequent dumps. So many dumps, so many large, ginormous, difficult to sift through dumps. Hey, that's 5 dumps.
That's 5, y'all.
Give me 5.
It's the best, y'all. 5 fingers and toes, you know.
Give me 5.
It doesn't suck or blow.
Unless you pay. Guys, that's not appropriate.
We talk about this.
Guys, seriously.
So the dumps, or more to the point, the Russian government-sanctioned hacking that facilitated them, is obviously the most consequential portion of Brazil's memoir, being that it's named after it. They, them, it. You get it. The book details her firsthand experience with the Russian cyber tech against the Democratic National Committee. Unlike the more sensationalized aspects of the book that dominated pre-publication coverage, meaning Bernie versus Hillary, that thing. Brazil's account of being on the receiving end of the state-sponsored hacking provides rare insight into what is now recognized as a watershed moment in American electoral security. Brazile meticulously chronicles the discovery of the breach, the subsequent internal panic, and the difficult decisions faced by party officials as they attempted to mitigate damage while maintaining campaign operations. She describes the efforts of volunteer, quote, white hat hackers who developed countermeasures, the dilemma of whether to take down compromised systems at the risk of hampering get out the vote initiatives, and the party's cooperation with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, who they dropped the ball too, all while candidate Trump publicly encouraged Russians to hack the emails and WikiLeaks to disseminate them. Oh, what a much more innocent time that was in the outright, open corruption of our political system, when it was only slightly fractured. Now it's just selling access to the office right out in the open with cryptocurrency. Anyway, this section of the memoir gains particular significance when considered in the context of subsequent investigations into Russian election interference, including the Mueller investigation that continued after the book's publication. Brazile's account provides a human dimension to what might otherwise be perceived as abstract cybersecurity issues, revealing the psychological impact of knowing hostile foreign actors had penetrated and thrust their dirty computer coding into the sweet, sexy, essential campaign infrastructure. Hacking can be so sexy, especially when done by politically opposed superpowers. Doity. That was weird. Whatever. I don't know. I lose it sometimes. I just fucking go for it. Doity. Anyway, among the most explosive revelations and hacks were Brazile's assertions regarding the financial relationship between the Hillary Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee. Brazile describes discovering a fundraising agreement that, in her assessment, gave the Clinton campaign unprecedented control over party finances and strategy well before Clinton had secured the nomination. This claim fueled ongoing debates about whether the primary process had been unfairly tilted against Bernie Sanders, a narrative that had divided Democrats since the 2016 primaries. The Washington Post subsequently investigated Brazile's claims about this fundraising agreement, reporting that Sanders' supporters had known about certain aspects of the arrangement as early as September 2015. However, the Post noted that details beyond basic fundraising had not been disclosed to the public at the same time. These nuances highlight the complexity of party financing arrangements and the challenges of maintaining both operational effectiveness and perceptions of fairness during contentious primaries. Brazile also addresses Clinton's health incident in September 2016 when the candidate appeared to collapse at a 9/11 memorial event, which I fucking never understood. People get squeamish when anything health-related pops up. Oh, all the ooh, all the ooh. Did he stumble on his way up the podium? What if he dies? I'm not going to vote for him if he's going to die while in office. I mean, fuck. I mean, come on. Fucking people die. Young, old, sick, not sick. People die. What's even more fucking dumb is that while they pour over every odd look or verbal gaffe or slip or whatever, or maybe they tumble. Maybe they, slightly fucking walk up a ramp slow or something. They see it as a sign of death and that the end is nigh. But could give less than a shit about the vice president. Like there were, oh my God, she appears to have almost fainted despite talking the next day like a normal person and everything being fine. Fuck the vice president. I mean, who gives a shit about him? I mean, we're not voting him in technically or her or whatever. Like, what the fuck? If you're so worried about this asshole dying, why don't you pay equal attention to the asshole who's going to take over when they die? Sorry, tangent over. The book reveals that the "Did Hillary Faint While Getting Old?" episode prompted serious discussions among party leaders about the possibility of replacing Clinton as the Democratic presidential nominee. Because Democrats do this shit all the time. One tiny little thing gets questioned by anyone, and they fucking automatically want to rip up the playbook or throw it all in the fire and start over in a panic. It's fucking ridiculous. Another significant element of Brazile's account concerns her own controversial actions. There's the word. Actions during the primary campaign. Prior to becoming DNC chair, Brazile had worked as a CNN commentator. It's all just slipping away. Brazile had worked as a CNN commentator. During this period, WikiLeaks published emails suggesting that she had provided the Clinton campaign with advance notice of questions that would be asked at a CNN-hosted campaign event. Oh my lord. Let me guess. They asked her about immigration. They're going to ask her about the economy. They're going to ask you about abortion. Like fucking Jesus. What could she possibly have been snuck early that is so fucking radically different from anything anyone has ever been asked in any campaign ever? Just fucking in her book. Brazile takes a somewhat contradictory approach to this controversy. Earlier in a Time magazine editorial, she had admitted that sending those emails was a mistake she will forever regret. However, in this book, Hacks, she appears to kind of walk that back a little bit, suggesting she couldn't remember or find the messages in her own records and implying that they might have been manipulated as part of the Russian sabotage efforts. This discrepancy became a focal point for critics who suggested the reliability of Brazile's narrative and her willingness to take responsibility for controversial actions might be a fucking thing, you know? Fucking Jesus. Back then, it was the real Russian hacks. They actually did happen, but I mean, why not just lump in a bunch of other shit that might not have been them? They did it. That was all them. That porn wasn't mine. No way. Guys giving handies to clowns at a bus stop, that wasn't mine. Fucking Russians put that in. That was them. The DNC emails and stuff. Did they fucking release that? And that porn in there? I don't know where that came from. That wasn't mine. They must have messed with that. That was not mine. Even though my name was on whatever. That wasn't me. Russian. They did that. That was extra. Do you have a copy of that? I deleted that, by the way. The debate question controversy. I don't know what that was about. The debate question controversy had significant real-world consequences for Brazile, as she lost her fucking CNN contract over the incident. Donald Trump also referenced the controversy in campaign rallies, so give the opposition some fuel, Brazile. He used it to reinforce his narrative of a, quote, rigged election and systemic favoritism toward Clinton, demonstrating how internal Democratic controversies were weaponized in the broader electoral contest. Hacks, the book, this one, generated polarized reactions among critics and political observers. Walter Isaacson, the renowned biographer of Steve Jobs and Albert Einstein, who I think I have both of those books, he held the book as a triumph. The commercial reception appeared positive for it as well, with the book reaching number 5 on the New York Times bestseller list and selling out on Amazon following its release. However, many reviewers expressed significant reservations about Brazile's account. Kirkus reviews of, Kirkus, the reviews, Kirkus, anyway, they delivered a particularly harsh assessment, describing the book as a messy, self-serving rationalization of one of the biggest debacles in recent American political history, which I kind of get. When I read it, it seemed like a lot of, golly, Look at this pile of shit I had nothing to do with. Let me tell you all about all the absolutely correct things I did to right this teetering ship made of shit, which again, I had nothing to do with and could in no way have predicted or understood before I got here. The shit ship. Then I had to make ship shape. That worked out. Anyway. Oh, by the way, the pile in that is now a ship in that confusing metaphorical pile of shit that I made into a ship. This critique echoed a common sentiment that Brazile's narrative seemed more concerned with justifying her own actions and deflecting blame than with providing a truly objective analysis of what had transpired. Other critics noted apparent contradictions in Brazile's positions. As one reviewer observed, the book represents the Democratic Party as simultaneously one-sided and fair, and reflects inconsistent perspectives on the candidate's health issues and portrays Brazile herself as both a marginalized figure and a central power player. Such inconsistencies led some to question whether the book represented a genuine attempt at historical documentation or a strategic effort to rehabilitate Brazile's political reputation. I mean, to be fair, if you're going to write a book about a significant event like this, why not use it to bump your name up? You know what I mean? If you lost your fucking gig at CNN, why not use the book to maybe give yourself a little bit of hype? I mean, I get it. Who among us, cast stones or fucking glass with houses? What the thing said. Given what I understand to be a seemingly foundational understanding held by most politicians, be it in some weird kind of training or self-learned, I don't know, on top of that, the way the Democratic Party writ large tends to be is in doing shit like that, though. And I agree with the latter. She wrote this shit to repair her brand. Though that isn't to say it doesn't have its merits. It provides a lot of insight into how a political party actually functions in these modern-ish times. But still, the brand rehabilitation is loud and semi-clear. Jonathan Capehart, a member of the Washington Post editorial board, captured the reaction of many Democratic insiders with his tweet that said, "Girl, what happened? People are mad." By people, I mean Democrats, which is a weird thing to say. Things are bad when someone from the Washington Post editorial board tries comedy instead of writing 1,500 words on how best to gargle Jeff Bezos' balls. Oh, Elton went there. He went filthy with it. Filthy! Doity! Capehart's response reflected the frustration many party loyalists felt at seeing internal conflicts aired so publicly. The dirty laundry, oh my word. Pearl clutch at a time when the party was attempting to rebuild and develop a unified opposition to the Trump administration. A problem they still goddamn have. Democrats are absolute shit when it comes to focusing on anything longer than a headline. This is the problem I have with Democrats. It's frustrating as fuck. For me, anyway. The concern about what people think about the party over actually doing something with the power they're given as a party that would speak for the party itself. Meaning, oh, we have to do something to clear up this gossip about Hillary, Bernie, Kamala, whoever, so that we'll pass the voters' imagined purity tests that we keep believing matter, instead of passing a law and implementing a single-payer healthcare system like the rest of the developed fucking world, so they're not worrying about whether Hillary visited fucking Michigan or not. God damn it. Just give us what we've been fucking asking for already. No one gives a shit whether she stumbled or how anyone looked during a debate or how many people stayed home because Bernie wasn't in it or fucking what? Don't care about any of that shit. Fuck. I'm sorry. That got away from me. Beyond its immediate controversies, Hacks contributes to several important ongoing conversations about American democracy. The book offers valuable documentation of foreign interference in U.S. elections. It provided concrete examples of how cyber attacks can undermine the democratic process. Brazile's account of the DNC's vulnerability in response to Russian hacking serves as a warning about the need for enhanced cybersecurity in political organizations. When you have the suspicion of having been hacked by anyone, do something instead of, not doing fucking anything. Inaction, folks, it's the ugly mole on the ass of the Democratic Party. For all the bluster and talk about beauty being skin deep, it still keeps the Democrats out of bathing suits and worrying about skin cancer when people notice the inaction. Regardless, there's a heads up. If you ever find yourself running a complex political organization, when you have the suspicion that your donor-funded, information-dependent organization that takes in a lot of money and moves it around a lot and employs a lot of people, has gotten, hacked, do something immediately. Immediately. Otherwise, you're a fucking idiot. The organization looks like it's an idiot farm for fucking idiots that are fucking idiots. Idiots doing idiot shit. Hey, that's 6.
Heyo, is that 6?
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm in its presence.
Relax, it's 6, not 7.
Oh, 6-pack, 6, you're 6. That can't go wrong with it.
Unless it's your nipples.
What the hell are you talking about?
The memoir also highlights structural issues within political parties, including questions about financial management, transparency, and the relationship between national committees and presidential campaigns. Brazile's description of a financially struggling DNC that became dependent on Clinton campaign resources raises important questions about institutional independence and the proper role of party organizations in primary contests. And oh my God, so much fucking debt, like $10 million. Anyway, it's a goddamn lot. Furthermore, Hacks exposes tensions between establishment and insurgent, meaning, candidates and sides of the party, meaning at the time Bernie Sanders and his adjacent younger contemporaries within and around the Democratic Party, but mostly within, that continued to shape internal dynamics long after the 2016 election. Brazile's account of conflicts between the Clinton campaign and the DNC operations points to fundamental disagreements about strategy, messaging, and resource allocation that remained unsolved challenges for Democrats that still remain unsolved. Because there's nothing quite like doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again and expecting different results. Oh, hey, that's 7.
What's this? Can't believe it's not 11, instead it's no sweating you be getting, I'm betting 6 plus 1 is
A damn good porno.
What? No, it's 7. You guys are fucked up.
The books discussion of health concerns surrounding Clinton and considerations about potentially replacing her as the nominee. Fucking ridiculous. Also provided insight into how they manage crises, which it fucking really wasn't. See, people make a big deal about this shit because people make a big deal about this shit. Like the media or fucking just how the Democrats reacted to it. That's what made it a big fucking deal. If they were just like, look, she's fine, fucking get over it. Like, both of them are fucking old. I'm sorry. Like, fucking A, man. Like, go fucking, I don't know, walk around and overanalyze how your grandpa walks. Jesus Christ. No, it's just another example of Democrats panicking in the face of bad press. Holy shit, does that happen a lot. God damn. Damn, always. This aspect of the narrative illuminates the difficult decisions party leaders must make when balancing loyalty to candidates with broader electoral viability concerns. Fucking. The book Hacks. The book represents a pretty significant, if contentious, contribution to the literature on the 2016 presidential election. While critics have legitimate questions about the consistency and objectivity of Brazile's account, the book nonetheless provides valuable first-hand testimony about the Russian election interference, which did fucking happen. And the internal party, Democratic Party dynamics, which, my God, and the unprecedented challenges faced by American democratic institutions during a pivotal electoral contest, which they all fucking are nowadays. Things that the Democratic Party still struggles with almost 10 fucking years later. Fucking seriously. The divisive reception of Hacks reflects the polarization in American political discourse. The Reds versus the Blues, the conservatives versus the liberals, the corporate bought and sold party versus the corporate bought and sold party. You get it. With readers interpreting Brazile's revelations through their existing partisan frameworks. I mean, what some see as courageous storytelling, others see as self-serving revisionism or unnecessary airing of party grievances. This range of responses underscores how difficult it remains to establish consensus narratives about recent political events, even among observers who were fucking there, who share broad ideological commitments. As American democracy continues to grapple with foreign interference, institutional reform, and internal party conflicts, her account will likely remain a significant primary source for historians and political scientists seeking to understand the tumultuous 2016 election and its aftermath. Whatever its flaws and limitations, Hacks provides insights into the crucial political dynamics that continue to shape American public life and offers cautionary lessons about the vulnerabilities of democratic systems in this new digital age. So where does that leave us? And things just keep going on the same as they have been. I mean, fuck. The Democratic platform is very popular with, I don't know. I often hear 70% of the United States wants to implement a Democratic platform, or they agree with the policies that are put forth by Democrats. 70%. Of course, you can get into the whole most people don't fucking vote. Over 50% of people in the United States don't vote, which is fucking madness to me. They don't vote on anything. So local, state, national, none of it. It's just complete disinterest. Complete disinterest despite the fact that all those policies and laws affect them. And the Democratic Party doesn't fucking help either. its persistent inability to implement its policy platform at the national level, despite substantial public support for many of its proposals. It's just a complex interplay of structural, institutional, political factors that is just bizarre. While progressive initiatives such as healthcare expansion, climate action, which is being rolled back now, and voting rights projections enjoy voting rights protections enjoy majority approval in polls. Their translation into law has been fucking screwed in the ass. Not, in an enjoyable way. Not in a sexy Russian hacking penetration kind of way. I don't know what I'm doing. It's been stymied by, their progress has been stymied by systemic barriers, internal party divisions, and evolving electoral dynamics. Like the Senate's 60 vote threshold for advancing most legislation remains one of the single greatest structural impediments to Democratic Party implementation. It's designed to foster bipartisanship, but the modern filibuster has just become a tool for obstruction, enabling the fucking Republican minority whenever they're in the minority to block initiatives ranging from abortion rights protections to voting rights expansions. Despite support for Biden back when he was in power, despite favoring the filibuster carve-out on specific issues, Democrat efforts to reform the rule during the 117th and 118th Congresses fucking fell apart on the opposition of Senators Joe fucking Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. Fuck them both. Oh, my God. See, the thing is Democrats tend to hold on to these fucking norms that mean nothing to the opposition. See, when you hold yourself accountable to a set of rules that the other side is not following, and you're both in the same race, you're gonna fucking lose. When you're like, oh, it's a fucking three-legged race or whatever, so we got to keep our leg tied, and the fucking other guys are like, fuck this rubber band bullshit or rope or whatever, and they're just running hell-bent for the fucking finish line. Meanwhile, you're struggling and we got to coordinate. It's fucking madness. Sometimes you just got to take the fucking rubber band off and fuck that third leg. Oh my God. So, and the fact that the Democratic Party has been moving steadier and steadier to the right, moving over into basically what is a Republican light Democrat Party, which is not what people fucking want. Oh my fuck. Anyway. So where does it leave us? It leaves us with 4 fucking years of whatever we get. Hopefully we'll get another election. I don't know. But, until then, I'm just going to keep fucking reading books, I guess.
Elton Reads a Book a Week has been brought to you today by the numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And also by the word fuck, apparently. Holy moly, does he say it a lot as if you didn't notice, right? I mean, seriously, it's like he's trying to win some kind of fuck prize or something. Jeez. Oh, no, that came out wrong. You can edit that out. What? Oh, I see. It's like that, huh? Okay, well, fine. Hello, listener. This episode was also brought to you by the personality as demonstrated by the host. How about that? You didn't see that coming, did you? I tell you what. Oh, ho. Real mature Real mature.
And now, when life gives you lemon.
In the delicate hours after a hard day's work, when I find myself driving with the windows and top down, the breeze of an early spring night with that just enough pleasant kind of coolness in the air, I feel truly at one with everything, as though this moment was the culmination of everything before it. I'm being propelled along by the gentle rumble of a motor driving 4 tires with zero mechanical difficulties, an oft-neglected detail but beautiful nonetheless, all on smooth, buttery asphalt, made for moments like this, for gliding along the thinly traveled back road to the house my ex-wife demanded, and that I now can't afford. My mind drifts away from woe, and directly into the moment, held there and comforted by the masterful tones coming from the late-day jazz of a public radio station, and a glorious sky that's ebbing, its way through shades of burnt orange into soft, darkening blue-gray, painted with the perfect clouds of the almost evening. The road, the breeze, the song transport me to a place of zen-like contentment that is rarely ever found in the bustle of my modern life, or I doubt anyone else's. But there I am, in a world of my own, wrapped in comfort, contentment, and joy. Why does diarrhea have to ruin everything?
Thank you for listening to Elton Reads a Book a Week. I'm very tired right now. So if you enjoyed this episode, please, like, subscribe, share, or whatever the fuck everyone's doing these days with the things, and follow it on all the social media and stuff. If you have any questions or whatever, we'll get back to you. You can email me at eltonreadsabookweek@gmail.com. And if you really want to interact with me one-on-one, you can join the Patreon. I'll put a link to it in the description. And you can buy the book, Hacks, down there too. I'll leave that in the description. I'll get a little bit of something with that purchase. So you can do that too, if you don't have the money, because we're all going to be getting real poor soon with all the tariffs and shit. So if you want to instead just share it, this, or, leave a comment or rate and review it. That's a big thing, I think. Wherever. Spotify, I think, is pretty easy. I think you just hit a bunch of the stars or something, or, hit it up on Apple, review it there. I don't know. Have some fun with it. Suggest it to someone you like, someone you don't like, people that you have no feeling for whatsoever. Just random, maybe they're blank people, the background people of your life that you just see walking by. You say, hey, you, listen to Elton Reads a Book a Week. It's a podcast by a moron named Elton, and books and stuff. It's weird. Listen to it. Something like that. But above all else, thank you. Thank you very much. I enjoy making these, and I will see you again next time. And until then, start reading a book. Huh? Don't let them die out. Come on. All right? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. No.